We got a lot to prove with our team, regardless who we're playing. We're playing against ourselves as much as our opponent, regardless of who the opponent is. So we're setting some high standards, and all we're worried about is what we can control, and that's our team.
When Jim Donnan's Georgia Bulldogs took the field to begin the 1997 season, he, his players, and the fans all had more questions than answers. By the time the regular season ended with one of the most dramatic victories in Georgia history, Donnan's Dogs had completed a Bulldog revival that had them back in a New Year's Day Bowl and a member of the SEC Elite. The season began with a 38-7 rout of Arkansas State, where the Dogs displayed the high-powered offense and tenacious defense that would carry them all season. Georgia held Arkansas State to 179 total yards of offense, while the Dogs piled up 464. Mike Bobo passed for touchdowns to tight ends Jermaine Wiggins and Larry Brown as they easily passed the tune-up for their SEC opener with South Carolina. Surprisingly, the Gamecocks would prove to be less of a challenge than Arkansas State during a first half where Georgia built a 25-point advantage. Marshall transfers Olandis Gary and Jermaine Wiggins accounted for the first 3 touchdowns as Georgia built a 21-6 second quarter lead. Then sophomore Champ Bailey would display his talents with a touchdown return to make it 28-6, and the rout was on. Dogs cruised to a 31-15 victory and entered the national rankings, where they would remain all season.
I don't think they realized that I was going to pick it because he was open at first, but I stepped in front, and it was a good moment for me.
You were not going to be denied that end zone. I mean, you dove in there. I guess that was your goal?
Well, yeah, because, I mean, you don't get many chances like that as a defensive back to get an interception and take it for a touchdown, so I just had to make sure I got in.
Great feeling, words can't explain it or anything. Just looking to be 3-0 right now, not looking forward to anything, just going to take one game at a time as they come.
Not to build on, though, don't you think?
Really we would. We want to start some new tradition here, and I believe we can accomplish that this year as long as we stay together as a team.
2 games into the season, it was easy to see that the offensive line was vastly improved. Led by senior center Brad Stafford and junior All-America tackle Matt Stinchcomb, the coaching staff's emphasis on better blocking was paying immediate dividends.
We got some good work in the spring, spring ball, and this summer we'd come up here and work on assignments and mental reps, that kind of thing, and it's paid off.
This year, just like the team, everyone finally listened to the coaches, executed well, and it just paid off. And the offensive line has went from getting Mike thinking that he's a running back to actually playing a quarterback this year.
Normally, as an offensive lineman, you're in a position where contact's involved, every snap of the ball. It's a relatively physical position. There's a lot of blitzing. They're throwing some linebackers in the mix, and those defensive linemen really get after you. So you better come to play every Saturday.
If you really love something and you can do it fulfillingly without any problems, there's no limitation on what you can do. To see all those big plays happen like that, it makes me really appreciate what it is to be an offensive lineman. Everyone looks at the like the little kids come, they want to see Robert and they want to see Hines and whatever. But we all know that if it wasn't for what the offensive linemen do, you know, it wouldn't be possible.
With an offense growing in confidence and a defense ranked in the nation's top 5, the Dogs would storm their way through the next 2 games and their first 4-0 start in over a decade. The Dogs routed Northeast Louisiana 42-3, highlighted by a 72-yard touchdown pass from Mike Bobo to Corey Allen, and a 62-yard touchdown from Bobo to Hines Ward, who once again showed his big play ability. Next came a 47-0 shutout of Mississippi State as Robert Edwards returned from injury to gain 102 yards on 14 carries and score 3 touchdowns.
3 receivers load right and 1 to the left. Shotgun Bobo looking at a blitz as he comes back. Steps in the pocket. Throws. It's complete to Edwards on the 20 to the 15 to 10 to 5 and a touchdown. Edwards stopped the last 3 or 4 yards and walked it in the end zone. Ran a great pattern. Curl that running back over in the middle and threw it to Edwards. 25-yarder, really open. Georgia leads 6-0. Second down, goal to go on the 4. 2 wideouts, and one of them is really wide, and now Wiggins in motion. Toss sweep to Edwards, needs a block, going wide to the 5, and Edwards is in the corner for a touchdown. Bobo decides to holler at his receivers, takes it, gives it to Edwards, hold it left guard. There he goes, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and Edwards all the way in. Matt Stinchcomb opening that hole. Man, they ran a trap or something, and Edwards just burst through between left guard and left tackle, and Stinchcomb was the guy that had the block. Edwards was through that line and 5 yards behind the line, so quick.
But it was an aggressive defense that posted its first SEC shutout in 15 years that created the most excitement.
Back to pass, Morgan floating left, intercepted around the 22-yard line by Mike Lucky, and Lucky's in the corner and going to score as a linebacker takes it down in there. Mike Lucky, the sophomore out of Stone Mountain, dropped back in the zone, intercepted, and went 23 yards into the corner. Mike Lucky with a moment in his career that he will never forget.
Joe Kynes, the defensive coordinator, just smiling and shaking his head down on the Georgia sideline. I don't think he can believe what he's seeing. Second touchdown scored by the defense this year for Georgia. Lucky interception, Mike Lucky interception, gives Georgia a 47-0 lead, and Georgia's going to be 4-0 for the first time since 1982, Larry, and that's what the atmosphere here is like. 1982 this afternoon.
Yeah, it is. It's 47-0. Just one of those days when things are really going right.
The Dogs held 3 of the first 4 opponents to 200 yards or less. Led by senior linebackers Greg Bright and Brandon Talbert, the Dogs paid homage to their junkyard heritage of old.
That's what we had to do in order for us to win. We had to stop people. We had to stop people on third down, and we also, I thought we played good down in the red zone, down on the goal line this year. And Georgia's got a chance to be good for many years to come now.
I think being a great defensive player is more from the heart, actually. It's just something about just going up head on head with somebody, just stopping their momentum, taking them back, or kind of like just seeing who's the strongest, who's the best man, I guess, in a way. I know it sounds kind of barbaric or whatever, but it's just something you love about football.
On the line, senior Derek Bird, sophomore Brandon Miller, and freshman Marcus Stroud showcased Donovan's philosophy of putting the best athletes on the field and letting their abilities take over.
been a proponent of understanding what your talent level is on your present squad and the recruits that you're bringing in, and making sure that they understand that we're going to give everybody an equal chance. Certainly the upperclassmen are going to get the first shot in any position, but we've been very successful in our coaching career using younger players, particularly the more talented ones.
Along with the defense, quarterback Mike Bobo continued his outstanding play, passing for 3 scores in both wins, giving him 10 touchdown passes in the first 4 games. After a difficult junior season, Donovan's decision to stick with Bobo proved to be the correct one.
It's a totally different story from when it was last year. Last year, I was definitely confused up there a lot of the times. But when you go up the line with confidence and knowing who's blocking who and whoever's picked up and who's your hot guy, it makes the offense a lot easier. Makes you get back there a little quicker and know where to go with the ball. And the way the line's blocking this year, it makes my job a lot easier. It's coming to my 5th year, and things are starting to finally turn around for me personally and as a team. It's good, and I think we deserve it. We've been through a lot of hard things as a group of seniors, and we've definitely had some ups and downs, and hopefully this year we can go out on an up note. What we've got to do is go in and take it one game at a time, and that's what we're trying to do as seniors, is try to instill in the rest of the team is that we're going to do that. And, I mean, everything takes care of itself if you take care of it game by game.
Bobo and the Bulldogs headed to Knoxville for a top 10 showdown with Tennessee, but Peyton Manning and the Vols ended Georgia's hopes for an undefeated season despite 441 yards from the Dogs' offense. The next week, the Bulldogs were back in Tennessee to take on one of the nation's stingiest defenses in Vanderbilt. The Dogs were the only team all season to score more than 21 points on the Commodores, beating Vandy 34-13. In the game, Champ Bailey became the first Bulldog in more than 40 years to start the game on offense and defense.
Well, in today's college football, you have to be multiple, not only in your defensive fronts and coverages, but your offensive attack. And you got a special athlete, you got to find a way to get them on the field and utilize those talents.
I like mostly hit the receivers, you know, and make them look bad. But I'm pretty physical. I like to get up in their face and be man to man most of the time.
Now dance.
You know, I do a lot on defense more than I do on offense, but I know that when I get a chance on offense, I got to go out there and, you know, do my best at the short time that I'm out there. So, you know, it's a great opportunity. Coach gives me a chance to do it, and I enjoy doing it. Oh, it's been great, you know. I didn't put up all the stats, but who cares about stats, really, you know. And, you know, I made all SEC, and that was a great honor because I didn't think I would even come close with all the good corners we got in the SEC.
When the Kentucky Wildcats and their high-powered offense came to Athens, it was UK quarterback Tim Couch who dominated the pregame headlines. But it was Bulldog running back Robert Edwards who stole the show. 1 minute into the second quarter, the senior burst 80 yards for a touchdown, the longest run by a Bulldog in 5 years, to give Georgia a 7-0 lead. With the score tied late in the half, Bulldog defensive back Ronald Bailey picked off Couch and returned the ball 37 yards for a score to make it 14-7. Edwards would ice the game with a 44-yard touchdown in the final minutes as the Dogs won 23-13. Edwards finished with a career-high 186 yards on 19 carries and proved he was fully recovered from an early season ankle injury.
And I just put it behind me. I put everything in God's hand, and and I went out and just played. And since then, I haven't had an injury that would hold me out of the game. I've been able to go out and play well and give it my all and not worry about getting hurt. I'm still learning the position. I learn things every day. Patrick's back there helping me out. Coach Perry gives me a lot of pointers, and I just enjoy going out there with the fellas, having a good time. I'm just happy that I'm here now and I'm able to carry on the tradition of a running back. If I see a hole and I see the pylon or the touchdown, I try to run for the end zone. And then once I get there, I first give all the praise and glory to God. And then I look for my teammates, because if it wasn't for them, then I wouldn't have made it to the end zone.
The stage was now set. With Edwards at full strength and the offense in high gear, the Dogs headed to Jacksonville to take on Florida. The Gators came in a 20-point favorite, but from the opening kickoff, this was a dog day afternoon. With the offensive line opening huge holes, Bobo passed for 260 yards. And with Edwards running like a dog possessed, Georgia put an end to 7 years of Gator domination.
Second down and a short 8. And we pitch it to Edwards. A hole at the left tackle. He's got 10. There goes Edwards. Touchdown. 3 wideouts. Johnson takes it and steps back and throws it long. And we intercept Champ Bailey on the 15. Coming up across the 25 and out of bounds. Got a man coming on him as he throws. We dive, and I think we intercepted up on the 38. Skidding on the ground. Kirby Smart's got the ball. Gators in a 5-man line, and Bobo drops back. Looks going to throw a long fly pattern to Corey Allen, and he's got it on the 40, the 35, the 30. One man hanging on down to the 19. In a 7-4. Edwards dives, and he got in there. Touchdown. He got his body over the goal line. We are in an eye. Bobo back. Going to fire. Complete to Corey Allen, the 5-4-3, and they will rule him down where? On about the foot. Hines Ward standing up outside of one of the 2 tight ends. Edwards dives and got a touchdown. 5 receivers again. Shotgun. Brindise in the end zone to pass. Down the middle. It's deflected. And we caught a ball before it hit the ground, did we? I think on the 27. One guy hit it, and then Kirby Smart called it lying on the ground. Toss sweep to Edwards. No blocking, but he got to the corner anyway. And he's going down the corner over the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and he's down in the corner. Touchdown. He stayed in bounds. Going to hand it off to Gary, and Gary pulling, driving, Gary going, and touchdown! Some of the players weeping for joy. Georgia has shocked Florida, one of the better football teams in America, and beat them at Florida. The Dogs have knocked off the Gators, 37-17.
With the win over Florida, the Bulldogs were back in the top 10 and headed for a showdown with Auburn. But the Tigers came to Athens and showed the SEC is the best and most unpredictable conference in America. Despite 362 yards passing by Bobo and career highs in receptions for both Hines Ward and Champ Bailey, the Dogs lost 45-34. Ward's efforts against Auburn exhibited why he is arguably the best all-around offensive performer in Bulldog history. The Rex, Georgia native, who graduates having more all-purpose yards than any Dog except Herschel Walker, had a chance to become the first player in NCAA history to record 1,000 yards rushing, receiving, and passing.
I just love to go out and play. You know, if you ever watch me, I'm always, you know, if a big play ever happens, you know, I want to be around that play somehow, some way, and I'm going to go out there and give 110%. I think my sophomore year, that was a low point in my life where I really didn't care anything about football. But now with Coach Donovan's back and here, and I mean, he just makes me go out there and just have fun. You know, love the game that I love so much. My best talents. Knowing the game, you know, playing a different position, you know, I kind of see things that probably other people won't see, you know. You know, just like when you're a little kid, you're outside playing the street ball, you know, you want to play all the different positions and stuff, and, you know, now I'm doing it on Division I level, and it makes the game much more funner for me, and I'm glad to be a Bulldog.
Georgia entered its final SEC game of the year in Oxford to face bowl-bound Ole Miss. Edwards set a career high with 32 carries for 180 yards. Olandis Gary scored 2 touchdowns. Hines Ward had 5 catches to move to 5th on the all-time Bulldog receiving list as the Dogs won it 21-14. Greg Bright, who became the school's all-time leader in unassisted tackles, added a dozen to his total, while Brandon Miller, Jeff Harris, and Champ Bailey each had 8. Dogs finished the SEC schedule with a 6-2 mark and still had hopes to reach the SEC championship game. The season finale with Georgia Tech again displayed Georgia's ability under Donnan to win in dramatic fashion. The Dogs appeared to have command of the game all day. The scoring began on a pass from Bobo to Hines Ward, who would race down the sidelines to complete the 54-yard play. Corey Allen added a 59-yard second-quarter touchdown that would again give Georgia the lead. The Jackets fought back and took their first lead of the day with 48 seconds remaining, but the Dogs were far from done. Displaying the spirit that's made Georgia football special for over a century, they would strike back, first on a quick slant to Champ Bailey that moved the Dogs into Jacket territory. Then came another quick hitter to Bailey, followed by an out pass to Edwards. After a pass interference call moved the ball to the 8, Bobo would find Bailey in the corner with only 8 ticks on the clock. The Dogs had one of the most dramatic wins in the 90-game series with Tech.
Wow! Yeah, baby, way to beat Tech, baby, yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Hey, got to believe, baby, you got to believe. I said it great. I joined the board. I said it great.
The Dogs' 9-2 regular season record earned them a trip to the New Year's Day Outback Bowl. The opponent, Wisconsin of the Big Ten, which brought an offensive line that averaged over 320 pounds. But Bulldogs' speed proved to be too elusive for Badger bulkiness, as the light definitely shined on the Georgia seniors.
And Pasetsky kicks it off very high, going to use that wind good, and we go way back about 8 or 9 yards. Hines Ward to catch it and down it there. And Georgia will bring it out and put it in play, and the Outback Bowl is started. And Bobo's back, throws it out on the right flat, complete to the slot. And we've got Hines, I believe, on the 35-40. Hines Ward got up in the first down to around the 40. Edwards came up to listen to Bobo and then backs up. Wisconsin's playing a 4-4, almost 8 men in the box. So we run Edwards. Bang, we've got 6 yards out to the 46. Second down, 4. Man in motion, the tight end. Wiggins back and forth now the other side. Bobo toss pitch out there to Edwards. Needs a block. And he got hit from behind just as he ran into one of his own blockers up around the 48. So we'll have 2 backs and 2 tight ends. And Wisconsin jams up on that line of scrimmage in a 6-2. And we reverse back to Hines Ward. And he missed a man open on the right at a halfback pass. On 3rd and 2, he missed Larry Brown. Hines threw it 3 feet up over his hands. 4th down, a short 2 on a punting situation. Wisconsin will only rush 4. The kick is going to be short and low in the bad in the wind. And it bounced off one of our guys around the 22 or 23-yard line. Man starts in motion, and they give it to Dane. He starts in the tackle, and we knock him down right there. He didn't get but a half a yard. Big Ron Dane. Dogs virtually in a 4-4. Wisconsin, a man in motion. Quarterback Samuel back, throwing out in the right flat, and we tackle him, and he drops the ball on the 25. Wisconsin, 4 wideouts. They go shotgun with Samuel, the quarterback. He's a junior. He's out of Philadelphia. Dane is standing with him. Samuel back to throw, looking, got time, throws too high out on the 35, incomplete. Intended for Willie Austin, and it'll be 4th down, and Wisconsin will be punting. Let's see if they can use this wind. He got a good snap, and his kick is a low spiral. Greer caught it right on his chest and got knocked down. Caught it on the 39 and drove backwards to his 35. Dogs with 2 backs, Edwards and Gary offset, and Bobo's going to give it to the tail, and Edwards had a little hole and got it over the 40 and went down on about the 42.5. The gain was about 3.5. 2 men wide and have a slot on one side. Bobo underneath. Stops, looks, throws that slant pattern, incomplete, off his hands. He may have been looking back in the sun now, I don't know. 3rd down, 6.5, almost 7. Shotgun with Bobo. Wisconsin's linebackers playing back 5 yards. Fire another slant inside. And we're going to go to Champ Bailey, and Bailey gets it down to the Wisconsin 46. First down, I think Jason Daring hanging on to his ankle from behind. That's the free safety. Georgia slots 2 men to the right only this time. Wisconsin's in a real tight 4-4. Bobo goes back to pass, and he's going to let it fly down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Behind the back and behind the receiver and defensive back, and we'll look at the flag now back on the 25. They said pass interference, and they mentioned also it was holding while the ball was in the air. Wisconsin's in a 5 front, 5 men. We had a slot right. We break a man of motion and run a reverse and swing that man wide outside, and we're going to get 5-6 yards with Hines Ward coming wide to the left. Dogs, 2nd and 4, Wisconsin 25. Go with Edwards, a hole in the middle, and he's over the 20 to about the 16. A quick hitter right up the middle. We break Small and Corey Allen out to the right. Hines Ward out to the left. 1 back is Edwards. Wisconsin's back in a 4-3. Bobo long count off the Wisconsin 16. Going to go with Edwards. No room at all. They eat him up. He got a yard. No blocking right in the middle. And now we put Hines in motion out to the right, and Bobo then rolls to the right and passes to the big tight end, and Larry Brown is down to the 5. Brown caught it on the 10, and the big guy took it down to the 5. Donnell Thompson, the linebacker, hit him. Dogs in a quick huddle offense. We're in an eye, and we run a toss sweep to Edwards. Flag down, there'll be a penalty, and Edwards swings in to score, but there's flags down all over. I think the penalty's going to be on the offense. Dogs up to the line, going to do an eye with Gary and Edwards. We have 2 tight ends, and Wisconsin's in a 7-4, an old-fashioned 7-4 defense. Ward back and forth in motion. Toss sweep. Edwards needs a block, fights his way, and maybe got to the 2.5, maybe the 2. 2nd down, goal to go on the 2. Wisconsin again in a 7-4. We are in an eye with 2 tight ends. Bobo hollering, first at Hines and then the backs behind him. Now he's going to give it to Edwards, and Edwards carried it and got it on the goal line, but they will not raise their arms. Yeah, now they do. Now they say it's a touchdown. He had the pads and the helmet over the goal line. They really waited. That one linesman did. He walked up there closer and closer and closer, and Edwards got it in. So we're 6-0. And we set it down, and they block it. Wisconsin lined up, and they blocked it. 6-0. Kickoff, long, high, drops down in the wind on the 13-yard line. And Wisconsin will bring it up to about the 30. Man in motion, they give it to him. He turns and cuts back in the middle, and the white shirts grab him after a yard or yard and a half. 2 wideouts, and one goes in motion, and Wisconsin gives it to Dane, and he drives at the left tackle and pushes people for almost 3 yards up to the 35. Shotgun is Mike Samuel, their quarterback now, stamps his foot, takes it, steps back and looks, fires, complete to a receiver sitting down. Should be a first down on the 43, Donald Hayes. Got 2 backs now. They got the backs in an eye. Got Martin up in front of Dane. Receiver on the right goes in motion. Quarterback runs an option keep and comes outside, and Georgia strings it out, and he loses a yard or so. Antonio Cochran playing it very hard and tough, and so is Orantis Grant. Mike Samuel underneath the center. Dane, the running back, had 3 wideouts. Play action fake. He's back to pass, and a long bomb to a receiver. And we break it up on the 16, high up in the air with Donald Hayes, a wide receiver. Ronald Bailey up in the air. Donald Hayes, a big 6'5" senior receiver out of Madison, Wisconsin. And they go shotgun and run a trap in there with Dane, and the Dogs jam him up on the 43, and he only got a couple of yards. And now they're 4th and 11, and Kevin Stemke will be the punter. We loaded the line up a little, but we don't rush them all. Well, he just kicked it 100,000 miles. It hit on the 5, and it bounces sideways, and it bounces backwards, and Wisconsin covers it up on the 5-yard line. We're in a hole down on our own 7 after a great Stemke punt, which they covered, and it bounced sideways instead of going on forward. Bobo underneath, going to run a little draw, and we're going to break a man out wide to the left. And it's Orlando Scary to the 35, out to the 40, stops by the side to cut back on the 50. They get him. Orlando Scary, we ran a trap. Corey Allen threw him a pretty good block. And Orlando Scary came outside of his own left tackle, and from the 7 carried it all the way to the 50 to the Wisconsin 49. Gary was really moving. Wisconsin's in what amounts to a 4-3, moving with our wideouts. We have 4 wideouts right now. Bobo underneath and dropping back and looking and going to fire, complete on the Wisconsin 42 to Hines Ward and knock him out of bounds right away. 2nd down, a short 2. Hines Ward going to take it at quarterback and take a snap and cut back inside, and they knock him down to the 40. We only got a yard. Hines Ward jumped back to quarterback and took a direct snap. Bobo underneath, Wisconsin in a 4-4 setup. Toss sweep to Edwards, who's going to get to the corner for the first down. He's got 5-10 yards, and Edwards is down the sideline for a touchdown. Boy, he turned that corner. Dogs just pitched it and ran Edwards out there. Pass trying to play a fullback on the play. It's 12-0. We may go for 2. Dogs, 3 wideouts, 1 back. Bobo back. They rush him, and they intercept the pass out there in that left flat, and we tackle him on the 17. Big favorite, the defensive end. 3. Mike Samuel underneath. Play action fake. Back to pass. Long, long bomb. And it will be incomplete on our 18. Champ Bailey riding the back of that big receiver, Donald Hayes. They keep going to that big 6'5" guy, and the Wisconsin fans feel that we're interfering. 3 wideouts. Badgers in a shotgun. Samuel going to take it and look and decide to run with it, and he's got himself 5-6 yards. He's up close to the 39. 3rd and 4, Wisconsin their own 39. Direct snap, and Samuel keeps it and runs for a first down to the 45, 6, 7. Direct snap. Samuel's underneath, 1 back set. Man starts in motion. And here comes Big Dane, and he got out to the tackle before we could close the hole, so he got about 6.5. Wisconsin, second down. Better than 8 minutes left in the half. They're behind 12-0. They got an eye. And the hand of the fullback, and we hit him, but it might be a first down. Cecil Martin, Talbert hit him right away. Wisconsin slot wide right, one receiver on the left side who now starts in motion, stops, and they go to Big Dane, and we just stop him dead right in the middle. No hole there. 2nd and 11, Wisconsin in our territory. Samuel drops back. We got a man on him, setting up a screen, and we intercepted the screen and fell down with the ball on a 41, Antonio Cochran. Somebody had such pressure on Samuel, they forced him way back. Greg Bright really coming on him, and he threw a bad screen pass, and the Dogs have intercepted. We're on our own 41, first down. Toss sweep to Edwards, who starts back in the middle, and 3 red shirts knock him down. No gain. In fact, he lost a yard and a half. We line up, slot right. Bobo throws out here to Patrick, pass complete. Patrick hesitates, and they hit him on the 46. 4 wideouts. Bobo took a step forward and hollered something first, and then went back in the shotgun. Fires on a slant, complete inside, got over the 50. Should be a close first down. Slanted a man inside, Corey Allen. 2 receivers wide right. We have 3 technically, and they're spaced out. They're all on the right side. 1 back. Fake, and instead we give it to Hines in a reverse out wide left. Hines got away from 1 man and was forced staggering out of bounds around their 41. Almost broke down the sideline. Campbell the corner on him. 3 receivers. 2 backs that are offset. Bobo underneath on 2nd down. Hands to the tailback. No room at all. No blocking. Nothing at right guard. Edwards could not move. 3 receivers right. 1 left. Bobo in a shotgun. Snapped up. Bobo, no, it's Hines Ward coming out to the right on a keeper. He's going to get a first down. He's out of bounds into 35. 2 backs, Edwards and Gary. Bobo underneath. First down on the Badgers 35. Getting a little late in the half. Bobo going to quickly hand it off. Gary shoots in there and got almost 10 down to the 25. 2nd down, 1. We're on the Wisconsin 26. Man in motion. Slot off to the left side. And Bobo's going to hand it off to Edwards, who cuts in there and he got knocked forward. He got about 6 yards. He had about 3 for a first down, and they knocked him forward to the 20-yard line. Edwards came up to hear Bobo's count. Now one of the tight ends, Brown, goes in motion. Toss sweep to Edwards, looking for blocking. Cuts in and fell as he started in. 1 receiver wide right. Got a little short slot left. Now the slot's in motion. Bobo underneath. Going to come back, going to throw a screen, but blocking complete over there on the left to Hines Ward, and he's down to about the 11. 1 desperate tackle from behind. 3rd down on the Badgers 11. 3rd and 1. Bobo looking around, hollering at everybody. Starts a man in motion and gives it to the tailback, and we lost 3 or 4. They just crushed us. Put another receiver in. Dogs are going to go for it. They figure they can't kick it. It's 4th and 3. Snap to Bobo on a shotgun, and Bobo looks complete on the 6-yard line to Corey Allen, and they'll hit him there, spin him around on between the 4 and the 5. Lysick, a linebacker. Georgia late now. Watch the clock on this half. We are under a minute. We are in an eye. We pitch it out to Edwards, and Edwards cuts in, and they hit him on the 3, and the wide sweep only got a yard. We got to watch the clock, or we will not be able to use this thing. 33 seconds in the half, and the Dogs quickly line up. Wisconsin comes up into a 7, and diving to about the 1. Boy, one official is saying touchdown on the right side. The others are not. Now, wait a minute. One of them says that Olandis Gary's dive broke the plane. Olandis Gary, the linesman saw it right, and the replay just showed the ball. He stretched high with the dive coming across and put his arms way out in front and barely broke the plane, but got it in there. Hap Hines to try an extra point. Cronic will hold. Set it down. The kick is up good, and we are 19-0, and that's going to be the end of the half. SEC! Georgia on their own 20. Third quarter, leading 19-0. Slot wide left. Have two backs behind Bobo. Going to give it to one of them. He faked it, actually tried to run a reverse to Hines Ward, and we lost 7 yards. Wisconsin waiting for that one. Badgers playing a four-man front that has gaps in it. Bobo kind of making a long count. Now Bobo going to run it to Edwards and shoot him up the middle over the 15 and get him to the 20, and we get the 7 yards back. Ward and Edwards are over on the left side. We got four receivers out. Bobo takes it and fires complete in the 30 to Hines Ward. It might be a first down on the 31. He caught it and turned his body, and I believe he got the 10 yards. Georgia breaks one man, Corey Allen, very wide right. Have a short slot left, and now the slot, Wiggins is moving, and Bobo going to give it to Edwards. We block and get him on a hole in the tackle to the 40 to the 44, out of bounds. Chris Terry really helped him block it. Oh, he stepped out on the 43. The shove came up around the 48. But the penalty now will take Georgia into Wisconsin territory down to the 42 and a first down. Wiggins stands up and then starts in motion to the opposite side of the line. Bobo gives it to Edwards, who's following Terry, but a man got him from behind. Bobo looking at the defense. Wisconsin bringing some more people up in there close. Bobo's going to take it, look, fire, and it is complete to Robert Edwards, and we're down on the Wisconsin 38. Dogs are third down, about 6 or 6.5, and we're in a shotgun with four receivers. Bobo steps back and fires, and it is complete, and we'll have a first down on the 30. Tony Small juked a man. Two receivers left, one short right. Bobo going to take it, sprint right and pass, complete to Hines Ward on the 25. He got enough of a block to get him to the 15 or the 14 and run him out. Hines is alone, split out on the right. We now have three receivers left and one right. Bobo going to take it, going to give it to Robert Edwards. Look at the hole, and Robert Edwards driving for a touchdown. Man, what a hole at right guard. We spread three men wide left. Hines Ward over on the right to make him worry, and Robert Edwards just blew through a hole at right guard and right tackle. Extra point up in the air. The kick is good, and it's 26-0. Johnson hit one pretty good, and the ball will be taken on the 2-yard line by Huntley to the 10 to the 15 to the 20, and pulled down around the 22 or 3 by Jeff Harris, the defensive back. Wisconsin's on their own 23, first down. They got a shotgun to Mike Samuel, who steps back. Now he wants to step forward. One man missed him. He's going to run to the 25 and come up close to the 30. One back is Ron Dane. Slot man goes in motion to give it to Big Dane. He started out, and we just stopped him dead at the tackle. Bird plus Brandon Talbot. Wisconsin shotgun with Mike Samuel, a quarterback, who takes it, throws hard over to the right side, and will they rule it complete? I think they will, for a first down on the 38. Wisconsin, four wideouts. We've gone into a three-man line. They're in a shotgun to Mike Samuel. He's going to keep it and run and turn and cut upfield, and he's got 10, 12 yards. Let's see, watch a penalty back near the original line of scrimmage. Gets his speed going pretty good. That penalty's going to come up on Wisconsin, I believe, holding on the offense. Samuel underneath. Going to take it, stop, throw quickly to the right on a slant end, drop. The ball thrown a little low. Chambers tried to sit down and catch it. Shotgun on second down for Mike Samuel, who takes it. Now he's running to the right. He throws a pass out on the right flat that's complete, and we hit him there on the 30. Three receivers left, one right. Quarterback and a running back. Samuel back there, take that snap, and going to throw that long bomb, and he overthrew everybody. Michael Greer, the single man, and here comes Stemke's punt. Fair catch, called for in the sun, juggling it and hanging on his Greer down around our 27. Dogs in a shotgun. Our ball, our own 28. Snap. Bobo, who then pitches it immediately quickly to Edwards, trying to get to the corner and can't get to the corner. Georgia, three receivers left and one right. We are in a shotgun. They try to blitz him, and we throw it to Ward, who got hit right there. Shotgun. Bobo going to take it. Look, open right down the middle to the 45. Michael Greer close to the 50. A bullet. Bobo just laid it right in there, and Jason During, the free safety, And Donnell Thompson, the linebacker, had to hit him. Put a receiver in motion. We have 2 on the other side. So we run the reverse, and we drop the ball. Hines went back to pick it up, got in trouble behind the line, and fought his way finally to about the 44. We lost 5-6 yards. 3 receivers out to the left, but they're kind of close together. Bobo's in a shotgun on 2nd and long. Looking, throws a little slant pattern inside, complete, and we get it to the 50. Hines Ward slanting inside, about 6 yards. Bobo's pointing at people. He's in a shotgun. He takes a snap. He fires immediately on a slant inside to Small to Hines. We're going to go for it on the Wisconsin 44. 4th down and 3. Shotgun Bobo. Looking. There he is. Complete on the 38. Hines Ward, 1st down. He whipped a little 5.5 yarder, and Hines caught the ball. Edwards and Gary. Bobo underneath. Wisconsin still playing a 4-3, but one of the corners always up. Bobo going to take it and come back and look. Throws out in the right flat to Gary, who's in trouble out there and can't go anywhere. We go to an I this time and stay in an I. Bobo underneath. Wisconsin's in a 5. Now the top I back goes in motion to the right. And we hand to the fullback, and Gary had a hole, but they shut it down, and he did fumble the ball. And it's Wisconsin's ball between the 30 and 35. It squirted out of Gary's hands. We haven't done much of that this year. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Georgia 26, Wisconsin nothing. Wisconsin's ball, handoff to Dane. We got him from behind. Rich Robich got him from behind. 3 wideouts. The slot on the wideout now is moving. Samuel straightens up and looks. We're going to get him and sack him back on the 23.
Let's go, Bulldogs! Come on, Georgia!
They flip-flop the tight end around, unbalance the line to the left. They put a man in motion that way as well. Samuel back to pass. Looking, one man going to get him off a blocker on the 23. Rich Robich again. Wisconsin 3 wideouts, so they're not really wide. Man in motion left, and we're blitzing in and chasing Samuel behind the line. And Greg Bright got him and sacked him way back around the 36 or 7. Greg Bright just blew up in the middle, and Samuel retreating was trying to come away and couldn't do it, and the Dogs defense has forced this Big Ten team way back behind the line. Bobo puts a man in motion, overloads one side. They run that reverse to Hines Ward outside, who tried to stop and cut and go in and couldn't do it. No gain. Wisconsin's in a 4-man line. One of our tight ends goes in motion. Bobo going to throw over in the right flat, complete with the blocker. We got Hines Ward for 10, for 15. He's going to get 20, 22 yards or so down around the Wisconsin 42. Bobo underneath. Wisconsin's in a 5. Bobo dropping back and looking. Right across the line, it is complete to Jermaine Wiggins, a tight end of the Wisconsin 35. 2nd down here, a short 3. Fake. Bobo rolls right, throws to Larry Brown. Complete. 1st down on the right side near the sideline. Bobo 3 men out. Comes back to throw. Throws it over here in the right flat behind the line to Edwards. Flag down, I think. Edwards starts down the side, wants to go to the corner. They knock him out of the 10, but there'd been a flag long ago and a whistle way back around the line. Illegal motion on the offense. 1st and 15. Georgia penalized back out to the Wisconsin 35. Have to go to the 20 now for a 1st down. Shotgun to Bobo. Passes on a slant inside to Hines Ward over the 30. Hines is going to go down all the way to the 18 and a 1st down. Just twisting and dodging, running down between the hash marks, picking his way. And they got about 17, 18 yards in the play. John Favorite, Wisconsin's defensive right end, finally got him. Single back, 2 wideouts. Wisconsin started up into a 5-man line, but our tight end stood up and went in motion. Now we're going to give it to Edwards. Try to get some blocking and get him to the corner. He's picking his way across for 3 or 4 yards inside the 15 and out of bounds. Shotgun, Bobo. A little shovel pass to Edwards, who's got a blocker. Edwards got to the 10, then they drove him back and out of bounds. Boy, he had Big Terry in front of him. Bobo underneath. Going to hand it to Edwards. He's got a little hole. Flag down, though, first. He went all the way to about the 2, and now he breaks out of the stack and wants to continue running in the end zone. But
on the play, illegal motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Be 3rd down.
Pass now. Sprints out to the right and becomes A receiver. Bobo takes a snap down the middle, broken up by Wisconsin. Yeah, interference called. They were riding the back of Hines Ward, who was curling and coming over the middle. Thompson, the linebacker. Split 2 men left and 1 to the right. Bobo underneath. Edwards, the lone back. Wisconsin in a 5-man front. And Bobo looking. Touchdown. Perfect strike. Receiver Corey Allen in the corner. His final gift to the school as a senior. Ran that pattern in the back of the end zone, running right to left, and Bobo just laid it right in there on him. Set it down. The kick is up. The kick is good, and it's 33-0.
What's up, Mama? What's up, Mama? How sweet it is. ATL. Stay in there, Grandma. How sweet it is. SEC all day, baby.
I got 8 minutes, man. My son Marquise and all you lovely Georgia fans. Miss y'all.
Dog pound, baby. SEC, baby. Big 10 can't handle the SEC. SEC all day.
Great season. This is how you supposed to end it right here.
All the people right here, man. When the ball come down, they're going to move on down. We're going to get it. Tell him.
On the carry for Georgia.
Goal to go. They're down 33-0. Man in motion. The quarterback, Kavanaugh, back, stops, throws, and it is complete, and it'll be a touchdown. 33-6. Davenport trying the extra point. No good. England underneath. It's going to take it and run a draw and run it back in there. Patrick Pass, and Pass is going to take it up to first down territory near the 28. 2nd down and 6. England run a toss sweep. And we run big Patrick Pass 35. He's going to get to the 40, to the 42, and out of bounds. It'll be a first down. Is down and going to let him run one more play. It's 33-6. It has been an offensive explosion. Wow, they just dumped all that Gatorade and all that ice all over the coach. Boy, if they had done that at 5 o'clock this morning, he would have died. This may or may not be the last play of the game. And the center just dribbled the ball back on the ground. Samuel picked it up, threw on a run complete out here in the left flat to Eddie Faulkner. And Faulkner fights his way up to about the 40. The clock is at 2 seconds. Will the Badgers try to just jump in with 2 seconds and throw another ball? No, they can't. The ball game's going to end there. The official picks up the ball, holds it over his head, and waves him off. And Georgia has defeated Wisconsin here in the Outback Bowl 33-6. And did this bunch of seniors ever have themselves a wrap-up to their college career? Dogs a winner, both squads milling around in the center of the field and shaking each other's hands, as all college football teams are supposed to do.
Great week. It's been a great month. The Outback Bowl was great to us, and it's something, like I said, it's something you dream about. Play on New Year's Day as a kid, and to come through and win like this the way we did. So happy for everybody.
I'm dedicating this game here to our fans that's hung in there with us through thick and the thin. You know, we had great support this year. Our state got behind us, and you know, they were like a spark. We sparked it, and they just pushed it on for us.
The 33-6 rout of Wisconsin gave Georgia a 10-2 record and a final ranking of number 10 in both major polls. But more so, it showed that Donnan and the Dogs are back, ready to challenge for championships and build on the Bulldog lore. Once again, playing at Georgia is something special.